When it comes to trend setting, Eric Daman sets the tone. He's out of Hollywood. You might remember him from Sex and the City, dressing the starlets in that hit show. But now he's got Gossip Girls, and those girls are trendy, sexy, and looking great and fashionable. And Eric joins us right now to tell us about some of the trends. Eric, welcome to the show.
Hi, Con.
Eric, I'm curious. When you were working with Sex and the City, you had to think you had hit the pinnacle as far as fashion. Did you ever think another show would come along that would challenge you to be at the forefront of fashion?
I had never thought of that was ever going to happen again. It was such a great moment in time, and I'm just happy to be a part of, this great new adventure and to be influencing culture and fashion as I go.
Eric, I'm just curious, how far in advance do you have time to set the wardrobes that the women are going to be wearing on the show?
It depends on the script timing. Sometimes the scripts come in a little bit late, but usually I have at least a week, which still isn't very much time, but syndicated television moves very, very fast. So I usually try to get the outfits put together and do my fittings at least a week in advance, but sometimes it can happen the day of. If the actor isn't available or the dress I requested isn't available until the day we shoot, then we have to wait until that morning.
Well, Eric, as you know, New York Fashion Week is almost upon us, and how does the runway fashion work its way into what we wear every day?
I think fashion on the runways is, it's supposed to be fashion on the runways. It's supposed to be something that's spectacular and inspirational. I think what we take away from it is those great pieces that we can use in our everyday lives. And if we need something fancier, something a little more couture, a little cocktail, then it's also there for us. But I really think it's, it's more of a spectacle. It's something really to showcase all of these beautiful clothing. And I don't think it's really meant for everyone to wear it as it's put together on those runways. I think it's more about dissecting it, and I think that's what we do a lot on Gossip Girl, and how we kind of create our own trends is that we kind of dissect what's going on the runways and turn it into the perfect Serena or the perfect Blair outfit.
Well, Eric, fall fashion is just around the corner. What can we look forward to?
I think going into fall, I think one of the biggest trends we're going to be seeing is leg wear. We've seen, I've seen it a lot on Gossip Girl. I've seen it all over the streets, but this time around, the leg wear is really inspired by texture. I actually have done a really great capsule collection for DKNY, and here's a beautiful example of this kind of vertical crochet pinstripe that is very lengthening on the leg, but it's also a great representation of this kind of texture and silhouette that's going on for leg wear this fall. And I think it's a great way for women to kind of update their wardrobe and give a little bit of splash to their fall wardrobe.
Eric, I'm just curious, when it comes to pattern, how do we know what matches with what?
I think it's about, we're seeing a lot of mix and match patterns. Like what we see here on this model is, there is a lot of textural mixing. And I think it's kind of figuring out your silhouette and figuring out what's going to look best on you. But here we have, a beautiful kind of sparkle blouse that's in this great kind of flesh tone sequined. But then we mixed it tonally with this kind of plaid on plaid skirt, which is also a different kind of texture. And then with the hose, which lengthens. So it's kind of like blocking the body almost, but trying to lengthen as the further you get down. I think it's all about understanding your silhouette and understanding how to put it together.
Well, Eric, as you know, there's one thing about having a nice outfit, but we have to tie it in with our shoes. How do we best do that?
Well, the shoes we have are actually also kind of tonal. I keep referring back to that, but it's also matching back to the patchwork of the skirt. The shoe trend we're seeing is, there's a patchwork trend, and we do see a little bit of metallic leather trimming on that shoe. But another big trend we're seeing with the shoes this season is the chunkier heel. That's a huge, huge trend. We've seen it all over the runways. It's been all over Europe, and I think we're going to see it all over the streets this fall.
Well, Eric, it seems like a trendy question in fashion, but what do you think the colors are going to be this fall?
I think a lot of the color combinations that we're seeing is we're going to go back to this kind of color blocking situation that we've seen a little bit in spring, but it's not all about these punchy, punchy colors. Here we have a great version of this. We see the punchy pink up top, but then we're going into like more saturated autumnal hues with this kind of copper going into black. And that's really how color blocking, I think, is going to change it for fall. You're going to see those punchy, punchy brights mixed with more earthy autumnal colors. And again, as we go down, we'll see these beautiful kind of textured tights. It's a floral pattern. It's a little more feminine than the last pair we saw. So everything in the capsule collection, there's so many different styles that are feminine, that are masculine, there's something definitely for everybody.
Well, Eric, we certainly appreciate the time you gave us today. And where can we follow up on some of the fashion tips you shared with us today? Now we can follow up on others.
I think the best resource, you can go to DKNY.com definitely to learn more about the capsule collection, but most of the major retailers are carrying it. So, they're around, they're very accessible and very affordable. And like I said, a really great way to update and give your fall fashion a little bit of kick.
Eric, let me salute you. I love your passion, your energy, and your knowledge of fashion. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Con. Have a great day.
Well, certainly nice having an actual trendsetter with us. Eric Daman, we wish you continued success, and we're going to connect you with more cool things when we come back right here on Get Connected.